This is Phantom Electric goes. This is Phantom Electric goes. And we're live on our Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube channels. And we're happy to talk about one of the things we just got. Is we got this brand new device that we've been using, which is called a Zoom L Live Track L8. And what this does is it allows us to have a better overall signal to our music. And so we're going to be playing with this a lot. It's our new toy. And in this episode, we're going to talk up some expansive sound ideas. And we've got a playlist that we put together of a bunch of new songs. And we're going to get into these new songs right now. And we're going to get this mic a little closer to us. So, yeah, this is part of the whole new thing that we're working on, this big concert that's happening on the 16th and through the 18th of this month, which is Friday. We're going to have the PEG Bedroom Producer Festival, and we're very excited to get into that. But right now, what we're going to do is we're going to get into we got to change it the gain a little bit and get into it with PEG. So here we're gonna go and play a song called "Hard Is How I Know You Like It," and we got a YouTube video for it, and we're gonna get into it right now.
Man like peg to his knees. See the flower flowing in the breeze. Man like peg to his knees. Yeah, see it busted out. Show the flower to me. Yeah, 53 on the dress, rolling in the breeze. Busting out, please. Hey, 23, showing 53. Hey, 28, showing off 53. Hey, 28, Ron coming, please. Show your flower dress to me. Hey, pretty, showing off to me. Summer dress that's blowing in the breeze. Hey, pretty, showing off to me. Summer dress just blowing in the breeze. Church with me, power sent to me. By my darling, and see. Yeah, put it me, no for me. You're my darling fancy. Got my empty bag for on the floor. Got my empty bag, what you want more? Got my empty bag, what is for? You can call me what ride will go. Got big guns, you hold you. Hey, for you. Hey, this is everything too. Show me flower dog, we can do a school. Said all these young girls hanging around me. I ain't gonna name you a freak. Hey, 28, why you want 56? You're showing off the flower to me. Hey, today, hey, 24. You can't wait till I feel the summer heat. Hey, 28, you send your flower to me. And after to the party, baby. It's too much sex cream. Hey, 28, why you go down for free? can't find me. We're walking at 19. How come he's not doing you, baby? Turns out the only who's so devout. For you did how you're so devout to me. I hope that I get you to be.
So we're back. To pull off of that, there's a bigger playlist, but we're actually going to stop it right here. And there's an example of our home studio and the effects that we can run. So I'll get back to the main screen so we can see me. Yeah, this is Peg, Fam Electric Ghost, and we've got our new T-shirt, which we're actually selling. We're selling this T-shirt online, so everybody can see it. This is a cool shirt that we actually had some help with this. The original design, that's my daughter Emma's design, and then we had a friend, um, and I'll put her name on it. At the end of the episode, I'll put the credit to the T-shirt. But we don't want to get into all of that right now. But there's a link, and we're gonna put it up for where you can get this. If you go onto my Facebook channel for Phantom Electric Ghost and Josephine Electric, you'll see that there's a store now through Shopify, and we've got these T-shirts. You see the back of it, and it's a pretty cool design. We had it a couple years ago, back in the 2016 when we first started Ghost. We had T-shirts and stuff, and we used to play in New York City and Boston. That's way before the pandemic. But right now, we're gonna get into some more stuff that we did. We're actually gonna go and play another song from this set, and we'll cue it up right now. It's called "Hard Sex is Divine Truth." So we're gonna get into that right now. If it would cue up. Yeah. You never know. You have problems with stuff. It's like Facebook, YouTube doesn't want to cue that up. Oh, it's great. That's great. So just hold on. For some reason, that did not queue up right. So that's what happens when you do live TV, live broadcasting. But we will go to our channel and get it. So just hold on a second. It kind of bombed out. And, we don't like to get bombed. We like to be kind of straight edge. So our music is very psychedelic, and people have thought that maybe we're a little bombed out. But we're not. But that's just the nature of things. People think that you have a certain aesthetic to your music, and they think, oh, you must be getting high every day or doing it up. It's like, and they probably think that we're into having sex every day. Well, we're actually in our bedroom studio writing every day about having sex, but not actually getting any sex. So, you know, that's kind of sucks, but that's the way it is. I mean, I think all artists kind of aspire to talk about what they want to talk about. So, I want to talk about, getting down with my lady friend, in South Korea, but I can't get to her, so I can't do it. But maybe pretty soon. So we're gonna get into hard sex is the divine truth right now.
When I get crazy with you, I won't feel it too. Won't feel it too. I know it's going hard as you. It's hard as I get you. I never get you too.
Okay. Well, you can probably hear it, but you're not seeing it. So that's another goof. So we are going to fix that. As again, the live thing, we were just kind of riffing right now, so we'll get into it. But yeah, I think you heard it, and you'll get into it right now once I get it up there. Now I have it, and so now we should be able to get into this song. And yeah, now you see it. Hard sex is the divine truth. We'll re-cue it. We go back to the beginning, and we do really like this Zoom um, L8. And we use Zoom a lot. I mean, we've got a Zoom Q8, we got this L8, we got our R24 and R16. So we're kind of zoomed up. But we don't push any one product because we got Moogs and Rollins, and we got a teenage engineering OPZ. We'll probably play with that a little later. And she's real hot when she's giving off her sounds. Kind of she's an electric lady like Josephine. So let's get into it right now.
When I get crazy with you, I won't feel it too. Won't feel it too. I know it's hard as you. As hard as I get to. I never get into. I wanna get crazy with you. I wanna feel blue. I wanna feel blue. Hard for ladies like you to get into, to get with you. And just as hard as I get to, there's a Apollo in you. I wanna make it come out good, when it come out so, when it get all over you. I wanna do you good, the girl make you get as hard as a dude. Wanna feel it too, wanna feel you as hard as a dude. Now what can we do? I can't get just as hard as you. And there's a Apollo inside of you. We're gonna bring it out till we fuck so cute. There's a Apollo inside of you. We're gonna make it come out. Ooh, ooh. There's a Apollo inside of you. We're gonna make it hard as that dude. I know you do. You like to do. I know you. You like to get in tune. There's a Apollo inside you. I could get you as hard as me. Ooh, there's a Apollo inside you. Well, what's with in and out all over you? But tongue deep and within you. The tongue deep within you. Ooh, I'm gonna make it feel too. Gonna make it know that I want you. I'm gonna get hard at you. Gonna bring that Apollo with a win and drop it. I'm gonna get into with you. I'm gonna get into. You're gonna get hard. And it do. There's a Apollo inside of you. Gonna bring it out like we're walking it right through. I'm walking in June. We're gonna do it hard. See through. The back was down to where all the suit. I didn't know what to do. I wanna get over you as hard as me, and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make that Apollo come out the way you. As hard as they do. My peg's gonna get that puddle from within without you. Get it in tune. There's heartache in it too. Gonna get that puddle from within without loving you. There's heartache in it too. Gonna get that puddle from within all over the room. Too deep into it, ooh. Do it on the kitchen sink, all over you. Do it all over you. You got heart and then it will. There's hardest into. Gonna bring that compound from within to without you. But hardest into. I'm gonna make the wet dream come true. There's hardest into. Their heart, love, and sex, fucking love, too. Their heart, love, and sex, fucking love, you. Their heart, love, and sex, fucking love, you.
Okay, we're back, and that was Josephine Electric, my alter ego. And what she always likes to say is, hard sex is love too, That's the way she sees love. And, she's a little risque. She's always been that way. No apologies because she's like the other side of me, and I'm kind of into that. So she's into that. She's two sides of the same coin, yin yang, black and white, male, female. That's the whole thing going on. So the whole story with Josephine is I didn't like my voice, right? This voice you hear right now, and I wanted to do something different. One of the things that you think about with electronic music when people have talked to me, I've talked to people on the interviews I do, on the podcast that we do, we've been doing since 2018 on our channel on Anchor FM and here, is that if you look at the history of music with a lot of bands, right? You look at like the Temptations, where they got the falsetto in there. But you have, the soprano voices too, but there's that falsetto going on. But then you got Smokey Robinson. You got that falsetto there. And then you get into like rock and roll, and you get people that like Prince with his falsetto. You have, Axl Rose. You've got Robert Plant. There's always been, a need. I think in the mix, in the same way, if you think about a Moog versus a DX7 and all kinds of things like that, or a D50 synthesizer, there's there's something about having a falsetto voice, whether you're a guy or a girl, that or in between, that it cuts through the mix. So if you're doing like heavy music like me, if you think about that song we just did, if we did that song and we used a phantom voice, right, and it was a really low voice like that, it would be a little too much. But taking Josephine's voice and actually pitching it up, it actually, I think it makes the song better. What we found is it makes it a lot better, making my voice a little louder. So we find that actually enhances the mix in the same way, like, engineers thought the mini Moogs and Oberheims and, Juno 106s and Jupiters were too heavy, right? So they needed something lighter touch. And then you got the Yamaha DX7s, they got the FM synthesis, you got the linear synthesis from Roland on the D50. What that brought was a little more, I guess, you could say that it was a little more precise, less heavy, less bass heavy. And you had these digital polyphonic tones that would be bells and pianos and all kinds of LFOs triggering other LFOs, triggering envelopes, triggering other LFOs. And basically, it created, um, more of an arranger's dream that you could control the sound in that. You don't just have the Moog. Like I got many Moog. I've got a grandmother. I've got a mother 32. I got a DFAM, and they take over the mix. Now you can control it by tamping them down and doing other things. Or you can do heavy stuff like I just did. It's kind of like, okay, I'm not going to layer it a lot. I'm going to let the Moog maybe be a 4-track mix. You know, there's the bass, the moog, the drum, the vocal. That's it. I'm not gonna go do 24. I'm gonna keep it simple, like a Dirty Mind Prince demo or a Nebraska demo from like you think about Bruce Springsteen. Sometimes you don't want to overlay it, and other times I've gotten tons of layers. You know, but and then sometimes the digital synths are better for that because you're trying to be more precise and more like an arranger, and you're trying to get it to a point. But why let my analog synths kind of talk to me, and if they're getting a little rough, then we let them get rough because like Joseph said, it's like hard sex is the truth. So we're gonna get to the next song, uh, you know, and we just did that. Hard sex is the divine truth, but we're gonna go into the next song, and then we're gonna talk more about some stuff, and we're probably gonna get into some details on the Bedroom Festival and maybe some SoundCloud tracks we haven't shown yet. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do right now. So we're gonna go play the video again. Well, we're gonna at the tail end to get to the next video, and here we go. Dark haired girls have their sway. If it will play, it doesn't crap out.
Dark-haired girls have their sway. You better watch out, you'll get hurt that way. The hard as fuck, they're on the third wave. In 1969, open your face. Hard as fuck, and you know your place. You're gonna be forever slave. The hard as fuck is under her sway, drowning under their pathetic waves. Dark-haired girls have their sway. You better watch out, you get hurt that way. They're under the third, fourth waves. In 1969, all over your face. Under this way, you're gonna be her slave. Harder than know that your place is the hate, baby. Dark-haired girls have their swing. Yeah, don't you know you get hurt that way? The dark-haired girl make you know your place. On the third, fourth wave,
Almost lost it.
1969,
Thank you.
all day. You're nine with so much gray. You dark-haired girl, I swear, you know you'll get hurt that way. Dark-haired girls won't okay. Hard as fuck, you'll get under that way. Under that way. Under her sway, the dark-haired girl felt that way. The drowning fall under the ocean way. Dark-haired girl felt that way. Drowning under the way. Know your place. It's 1969 all day. Did you know your place? 1969 all your face. Dark-haired girls have their sway. They're hard as fuck everywhere. Dark-haired girls get you can't know. You'll be a slave. You know, it's okay. They have their sway. You'll get hurt that way. Dark-haired girl, you're all day. drowning under that ocean wave. 1969, overdose, baby. And oh, they have been great. Didn't know that she's worse than wings, drowning under the ocean wave. 1969, all day. Everything under her sway. It's 1969, all day. Her face. It's gonna be under that swing. 1969 all day.
1969 all day. Into her face. Yeah.
You're gonna be forever slave. Her heart is fucking under her sway.
So we're out of there. We're out of that song. Not so gracefully, but we got into it. You can see that. So we're gonna get into some other tracks from our SoundCloud. So we're gonna go into one of our SoundCloud tracks called "Milk That Love." So we got some love for that. So we're just gonna set that up. We're actually gonna just play the track from our SoundCloud. We always like to put brand new tracks on SoundCloud and see what goes on. That's kind of what we do. It's pretty cool to use as a platform to see if people are digging something or not. You know, whether or not they dig it, then we move it up the chain. You know, and get it onto iTunes and Spotify and all that stuff. So we're gonna get into this now. We're just gonna go and share a new screen. So we're gonna share our screen to go into share the audio and then share the screen. So we're gonna get into this right now and bring up Milk That Love and then hope that we can play it. Yeah, I think we got it up. And we're gonna get it up and get it out.
Didn't know a girl like you is hard as can do. Didn't know a girl like you. Don't get confused. My voice is high, but still I do. I put it all into you. Didn't know a girl like you is hard as can do. Didn't know I couldn't give my heart to you too. Didn't know a girl like you hard as can do. My voice is high. Don't get confused. My voice is high, don't get it confused. It's hard as a guy when I give it to you. Outside, don't slow, don't ever leave me. That'd be cool. That'd be so cool. Down, down, put it in you. Down, down, don't get confused. My voice is high, but still I do. But you feel it too. Call me precious, precious day. I'm gonna give you another flip. I'm gonna precious day. I'll give you all this. Call me your precious day. I know I ain't tomorrow sleep. I know I'll do it great. I know you'll dig it. Call me precious day. And come on, baby. You call me precious day. And come on, do that, baby. never knew, girl, that you do hard as hell. Let's get into that screw. Hard as hell, let's get into that screw. Never knew, girl, as hard as hell they do. Do it till your lips turn blue. Do it in the heart of the strip. Harder than any do. Whatever you wanna get into, do it till your lips turn blue. Always, whenever in that mood. I never knew it, girl, as hard as any do. Never knew any girl as hard as you. With your heart, can't look, no, look, no, look. The heart is fucking screw. Heart is fucking look. Heart is fucking you. As hard as any dude. Do it hard, no fucking look. Do it in the bedroom or bedroom. If those love over you, know the fuck is coming true. If those love over you, know the fuck is over the room. Dripping right at you, dripping right at you. If those love over the room, know the fuck is dripping down to. Never knew, girl. Never knew, girl. If those love over the room, know fuck dripping over you. Know this fuck is dripping over you, dripping all over you. Now the fuck is dripping all over you.
And so that was the Milk of Love, and we get pretty explicit. So if you're not into that, you probably dropped off already. But that's just the nature of the ghost. So we'll get back into it. I'm the ghost with the most. I'm Peg, Phantom Electric Ghost, and we're talking about our own expansive sound. Now, expansive sound is the idea that if you look at all those hardware synths behind me, we don't use a DAW. Like this L8 we're using right now, we use an R24. Now, R24 is an old school hardware recorder, goes right to SD card, but you record right at the instruments. Like you see all those instruments back there, I'm able to record right at them. And so then I can do all the control surfaces of a Moog or a Roland or an Arturia, all the stuff I got. And, I have a bunch of other things like I have some processing modules in my Eurorack math module, which is actually a control unit that lets me take in the VCA signals of my Eurorack. So a VCA is a voltage controlled amplifier. And when you're playing in the Eurorack world, that's where your sound comes out of your workflow. So in a subtractive synthesis, after you've done everything with the oscillators and the filters and the envelopes and all the other stuff, it goes to the VCA, and in the VCA you can send that somewhere. So you can send it back into the synth and do something crazy. You can run it back into an LFO. You can go run into it, multiply it, and run it back in, or you can run it out, which we'd run it out, and we actually have a thing called a Pittsburgh modular VCA mixer. So we can take that output and go in and control the level, of each VCA signal. So I've got a voltage controlled amplifier for a mode Mother 32. I got a voltage controlled amplifier for that's a single oscillator mode, and then we've got a voice voltage a VCA amplifier, well, control unit equalization mixer. So we take the VCA signal from the Mother 32, take it from the DFAM, and the DFAM is a pretty cool machine. The DFAM is a drummer from another mother. So it's a 2 oscillator analog drum machine, and it only has 8 steps, and the steps are controlled with little tiny black dials or little knobs. They're like little stubs and knobs, and then you control pitch with stubs and knobs. There's only 8 steps, and it's not MIDI. You can only control with CV. So you can have a clock come into it from a Mother 32, or you can have a clock come in from anything that's got a CV clock, or take a MIDI to CV clock and run it. You can run an LFO to run it, envelope, anything that you can CV, you can make run it. So you can take the random voltage generator off of a grandmother. That's our third Moog. So it's got a sample and hold circuit, which is kind of like an ARP 2600, 2500. It has the ability to do random voltage. And you can randomize it based on the waveform you use. So you use a sine wave, and it's coming off the modulation oscillator. And on a Moog, the modulation oscillator is the LFO. So the Mother 32, the grandmother is kind of cool. It's got 2 oscillators, but then it's got this modulation oscillator. And the 2 oscillators all have the same waveforms, but the modulation oscillator adds a sine wave. And so then that that LFO becomes a third oscillator if you wire it right. And then you can use it to actually have sine waves, which means then a Moog can do kind of additive synthesis. It can do, strangely, it doesn't sound like a typical Moog. And we even have some FM synthesis capabilities on the grandmother, but it's not like DX7 level stuff. We don't have the ability to do that type of thing. But we can do some frequency modulation, which is a little pretty cool. So you can run all this stuff, and like I was saying, I have this Pittsburgh modular VCA mixer. You can take the VCA signals and then change the levels. Got a knob. You can have the sound levels equalized or lower or higher pretty much before it hits something else. So within the Eurorack solution we have a 6U from Arturia, which is a 2-rack Eurorack. So we have Mother 32 and then a DFAM, and then we got the math module, and we were talking about that. And the math module can take the VCA signals from like 4 different VCAs and then create envelopes, create random voltage, can create like LFOs, all kinds of control mechanisms for what you would do on a normal synth that has a control mechanism. So it's a control unit or utility unit. It's got mults on it. It's got different profiles. You can go and do, exponential manipulation of the sound, or you can do, logarithmic expression on the sound. And so you can do all this different type of modulation of the signal, and then kick that back to something else. And so I tend to use it on the DFAM a lot. And so what you heard in that last song was the DFAM signal went into the math module, and normally the DFAM wouldn't have any breaks in it because it can't really, well, it can do a little bit of a break, but not that much. And so when you put it into the math module, you can do a lot of cool stuff. You can extend into it an envelope or a random voltage or something that can change the beat of the DFAM. And that's the whole point. So we use the analog subtractive synthesis to manipulate what's going on with the drum machine, instead of going on a grid and saying, hey, it's going to be here and here and here. We like to do that kind of random development because it gives us this happy accidents. It gives us a more organic feel. So we don't sound like a typical producer because we don't want to sound like that. We basically let the Moogs and the analog synths talk to us, and we take advantage of that and use it in our mix. That's the whole point. So we'll get into a couple more songs that we've got. I think now I'm going to go to our Spotify and hope Spotify doesn't. One thing about I love Spotify, but one thing that gets on my nerves is these are ghost tracks Okay, so anybody from Spotify, okay, whoever's running the censors at Google and Facebook, these are ghost tracks. So if I have a ghost track, don't censor my ghost track. you know, so I'm gonna play some stuff from an album we did this year we like a lot. We're gonna play the Sending into Darling mode. Now, this song is kind of hard to play live because it's like it's got a kind of strange piano arrangement. Not that I couldn't play it again, but it was kind of like the fourth take, and I did it multiple ways, and I finally liked the version, and that's what I'm kind of about. I like okay, I like the way this one came out. Um, so that it's kind of like random nature and it's not in the DAW. Though we do have it in our Zoom R24. So if I want to play it, I actually have the piano part in tracked into his SD card on that machine. It's a multi-track. I could mute the vocal and sing the vocal. So if somebody said, "Hey, go sing this live somewhere," I could go take it somewhere, and maybe the piano part would be just exactly as the record. Now, what typically I would do is just probably rehearse it and play it a little different than what I wrote it. It's not. It's gonna be like a Frank Zappa thing. I'm not gonna play it the way I wrote it. I'm gonna go and kind of reinterpret it and play it differently. That's something like Prince used to do all the time, and that's what I like to do. I don't like that it's boring for me to just play it the same way, so I won't do it. But you'll get to hear it right now. So we're gonna go play Ascending in the Darling mode, and that's probably gonna be the last track we play today. Remember, the link below me is our Shopify store, and we've got our T-shirts out there that support the program. We don't charge people when they come on the show for interviews, and so we would appreciate it if the audience would go to our Shopify now. And before we'd ask people to donate, and you wouldn't really get nothing. Now you can actually get this T-shirt that I'm wearing, and we've got other ones, but you can get this T-shirt, and we've got a big hoodie sweatshirt, so you can support the fact that we interview for like an hour or longer indie artists and push their product, push their music, push their concerts, push whatever they're doing, their vinyl. And we don't ask them for money. We are able to get them out through this podcast on Twitch and YouTube, Facebook simultaneously. We also get them onto Spotify podcast, Apple podcast, Anchor FM, and they get it out to up to 11 different podcast platforms for free to the artist. So if you like that, and we've had about 33,000 people listening to us, but not that many people donating. And I know people donate for YouTube, so I don't want to get into a big lecture, but YouTubers get people to donate. So I am asking, now that we have this product, and it's from Shopify, I challenge Family Electric Ghost listeners, please go to my Shopify and buy the damn t-shirt. Because it helps us buy stuff like our L20. It helps us be able to have better equipment, so when we interview people, they have a better experience. We can make their music sound better. Like today, we're proving that the L8 is the best sound we've ever gotten on this podcast for our own music, and it will get other people's music when we actually do interviews. It'll make their music sound better. Now, we had to spend money to buy that, and if you can support us, that will help us out. So that's the lecture for you today. So if you like giving $10 to Dashi, and I love Dashi, give us a tip. You can also go to our Spotify and to our SoundCloud and actually donate through the COVID-19 button, right? You can do that. And then you also go to Anchor FM, and if you listen to our podcast there, you can donate. Or you can do the PayPal one-time donation that we have set up on a bunch of our podcasts on Anchor FM. So go to any one of those, you'll see a link to be a one-time donation. Oh, okay, we'll get off of that. So now we're gonna go and play this Spotify track that we got out there, Ascending into Darling mode. It's done pretty well, and it's a heartfelt song. It's to kind of tell the truth about it. We had fallen in love with this girl on the net, which is probably not smart. And then she kind of was a rip-off person, trying to, wasn't as truthful as she seemed to be, or was ever, actual in reality. So we will, well, I gotta log into Spotify. It's giving me a problem. So again, this song is a pretty interesting song. We put a lot of heart into it. It's kind of in the singer-songwriter tradition. It is meant to be not like the typical stuff bangers that you hear today. That's not what it's about. But so we're gonna we got it ready to play. So we're gonna get into it. And this is Ascending into Darling mode. Hope you like it. We're gonna play it right now.
Ascending into darling mode. Gonna get so close. Ascending into darling mode. Gonna kiss on that love. Ascending into darling mode. Wanna know you so. I know what a man or woman should know. When they get so close, or when they get stone alone, ascending into darling mode. You know what you wanna know. Could you be the one that I could hold? The one I know 8,000 miles away, need my soul, sending into darling mode. No more descending into that rabbit hole. I know what I want to know. You wanna catch the breath off your soul. Wanna know you the way I want love to grow. Wanna know your heart and soul. Sending into darling mode is when you're so close, you're not alone. You hold her and you can't let go. There's a feeling that's so gold. Yeah, that's a feeling that's so gold. Sending into darling mode. No more descending down the rabbit hole. You're the one I wanna know. On the Ferris wheel, I wanna get so close. The Ferris wheel, I wanna get so close. Only woman I wanna know. Sending into darling mode. You know that I can't let it go. You're the one I wanna know. It's hearts to gold. No more descending down the rabbit hole. You're the one that I wanna know. You're the one I wanna hold so close. Ascending into darling mode. Feel the breath of the skin so close. Wanna know how to get beyond the ghost of love that steals your very soul. Ascending into darling mode. Yeah, I could never let go. On that Ferris wheel, come. Wanna hold you, kiss you all night long. It can't be right, can't be wrong. It's love, this is where love belongs. Let's sing in the darling mode. Did you know when you want it close? You know when love's not a family electric ghost. You know when you feel it in your soul. No more diving down the rabbit hole. You know what you know. ascending into darling mode. When you got your darling, it's so close and so, it's soul's gold. Yeah, it's soul's gold. Yeah, ascending into darling mode. No longer carrying a record of the sauce. So ascending into darling mode. You know it's your heart's gold. You could never be this close. Does not win, does not ghost. Know what you wanna know. Know what you really wanna know. Know what you wanna know. When you hold your darling so close, so cold, all the darkness goes and everything's cold. Sending into darling mode. We'll do this one over and over. Don't you know? This is soul's gold. We're gonna do it till we lose control. In love with the darling, you should know. Ascending into darling mode. Yeah. When in love with the darling, you should know.
So that's it. That's we're done with this episode, and we're happy that everybody joined us today. And we're gonna go on and do some rehearsals today. And so you'll hear us doing some rehearsals. We're actually gonna go and create another episode here and start practicing. We take a little bit of a break, and hope you go check out "Ascending into Darling Mode." That's the title track from this album. We got actually 4 albums that came out this year, but that's one of the best ones. Um, though we do like Busan Pretty Pink, and that's actually what we're going to be practicing that, and Deep Pink with You. Probably the 2 songs we're going to play during the festival, and we might just F it up and do a bunch of other ones. Oh, there was one song I wanted to play. So let me drop out of this. We're going to go and get a song we've been working on. Like we like our punk aesthetic, so we're gonna go and get Darlin's IV is the TV. But Darlin's IV is the TV is this idea like you're with this we're with your partner, right? Whether it's a girl, a guy, or whatever in between. Um, and they're like so caught up in the TV. And you could be doing a strip tease, doing whatever, and they don't want to do anything, have anything to do with you. All they want to do is watch the goddamn TV. And you're like, damn, it's like you spend your whole life trying to get your partner, and all they want to do is watch the freaking TV. That's and that's kind of like what the hell. Um, you want something a little bit more than that. Well, you'd hope you could. So we're gonna get into that now. We're gonna do to get the YouTube version of it. So we're just going to get it off of Phantom Electric Ghost is on YouTube. We are on Twitch. We are on Facebook. We are on SoundCloud. We actually have a website, https phantomelectricghost.com, so you can check that out. We also have a GoDaddy site where we do blogging stuff. That's where we do a lot of campaigns for businesses to pay the bills. We don't want to get into that again. But we're gonna get into Darling's IV as the TV, and we're looking for that right now. We just gotta find it, and then we're gonna play it. We just gotta. Sometimes the net is so good, freaking slow. So we're getting into it. Darling's IV is the TV. And this is a song we really like a lot. It came out of a jam session, which is typical of what we do. Oh, you know what we gotta do? We can play One and Done with the Sun. Yeah, sorry, we're gonna play that one because this one is our latest single and it's actually doing pretty well. So we're gonna play this one. So this song is a song we really like, and let me just get it up, get it off, and get it up. So hold a second. We're gonna get it into the StreamYard. Yeah, it's a little too early. Don't go so. Come on. That's a little early. You know, come on, Josie. You jumped into it too hard. Well, you know that's what Josie likes to do. So let's get it on, and one and done. Now this is kind of our kind of new age disco funk. We're a big fan of Funkadelic and Sun Ra and Prince and Sly and James Brown. And sometimes we just get on a groove. You know, sometimes we didn't want to do a groove, but the groove kind of wanted to do us. So that's what happens. Sometimes the groove kind of finds you and says, "You will do us." And it's okay. That's what you want. Then that's what we get. So here we go with one end done. And let's get this on. Yeah, you see it. One and done with the sun. Now this is on all platforms. YouTube, so you don't have the other ones. You can't say, "Well, I can't listen to it because Keith's only put on Spotify." All my songs are on YouTube. So if you're into Peg and you don't have any money, go to YouTube and like it, and then subscribe to me. You didn't have to pay, and you help me out. So again, if you don't have the other services, which I won't name, go to YouTube and go and subscribe to Phantom Electric Ghost. Every song I've put out in the last year is on YouTube for free. So you can stream it there. And so here we go, and we're going to play it right now.
Down, no. We don't need to feel like we're midnight, like here to the ground. One and done, be on the ground. There was sun. One way, no, we would have more fun. No, we would don't have to have a handgun. Don't have to wait the time. Don't have to deal much. We could have fun. On the midnight sun.
So this is Pam Electric Ghost. We're finally done today, and that was Josie getting it on. And basically, that song is like you can have fun without a handgun, because people go to the club trying to be tough and bring a handgun. They're like killing young girls and people that have nothing to do with their beef, doing kind of effed up things, and there's no reason to do that. Just have peace and love. Get into the Ghost. Get into Peg. Go get your Peg T-shirt. Again, this is the Peg T-shirt. See the back. It's a pretty cool thing, and we got a couple of different versions of it. We got the link up here. It's like right down there. Check out, and you can't click it, so you gotta type it. But go and check it out. And it's through Shopify, so I'm not trying to rip you off. And you see, I got the shirt. Like I got it off my back. You can get it. It's real. It's a real thing. It's Phantom Electric Ghost. You see, it's real. You see the ghost there? It's real. So get it. Get into it. And we'll see you later. Yeah. We'll see you later, okay? Get into the ghost. Get into the ghost. Get into the ghost.